Today we're working with our friends at Mies Outland in beautiful St. Cloud, Minnesota. Hi folks, I'm Nathan with Two Guys in a Ride, and today Rob and I are out here in beautiful St. Cloud, Minnesota. We're here with Cody, and we're at Mies Outland, and we got something pretty neat behind us. So Cody, tell us what we have behind us.
Yeah, so here we've got the 2022 Ranger 1000 Premium with our in-house Northland build. It's going to be very similar to the factory Northstar, pretty much minus the air conditioning and the winch on it from the factory.
All right, so we're gonna take you around this here. Let's start in the front here. The bumper here is stock, right?
Correct.
Okay, and the headlights and the tail lights both, I believe, are LEDs.
LEDs in the rear, but the fronts on these ones are going to be just the regular standard style headlights.
Okay, all right, and then up inside the hood here, you've got windshield wiper fluid.
Windshield wiper fluid, your coolant, radiator. And you get a factory bus bar with an extra spot for any electrical accessories that you're going to
plug in case you want to add something.
Correct.
Okay, and then now when you build this, you don't put on certain options because you want the customer to be able to customize it, right?
That's correct.
So in the front, what are some of the things that they could add?
Yeah, so the biggest thing that we'll see people add is going to be the factory winches that you have for options. You got 3 different options ranging in price as well as capacity.
Okay.
There's also the factory plow system that you can get that mounts directly to the bumper, so you're no longer having to crawl under the machine and fiddle with pins. It's a quick detach system, snaps right on, snaps right off.
Oh, that's really nice. Yeah. Oh boy. Now up on top, can you add lights?
You can. Yep, they got various options for light bars, both factory. There's plenty of aftermarket out there too. Of course, we're always going to recommend factory for the ease of access and install.
Right, and the wiring harness, all that kind of stuff is okay. So if I'm coming in and I want to order this, right? It's going to be probably a little cheaper than ordering the same setup from the factory. The factory comes on with a little different things.
That's correct.
But you're talking about $6,000 more.
Correct. Yep.
So by building it in-house, customers are saving some money, which is really cool. And you sell all the accessories here in the store.
We do. Yep.
So what about the suspension on the front? What do we have?
Yeah, so in the front here, we're going to have independent dual A-arm suspension for a better ride comfort. On these models specifically, it's a little bit more of a basic setup. It's not quite the robust system that the XPs and the Northstars have, but it's still a very comfortable and capable ride.
Right, okay. And what do we have for tires?
Factory 26-inch tires on a 14-inch wheel.
Okay, and that's standard. That's what it comes
standard.
with. Now,
Yep.
you also sell accessory, different tires and rims for this if someone wanted it.
That's correct, yep. So Polaris themselves has got some manufacturers that they work with, and we try to stock some of that stuff, but there's a whole world of aftermarket wheel tire options out there.
Okay. What size are the back tires?
The back should still be 26s, but they'll be a couple inches wider. So instead of being a 9x9, it'll be a 9x11.
Okay. And now I notice, you've got holes at the top of your deck here. So what are those for?
Yeah, so this is all part of Polaris's factory lock and ride system for a lot of their accessories. So instead of having to actually permanently mount accessories, they go right into these holes, lock in place. If you want to take it off, you flip a lever, pull it right out.
There are the LED taillights. You can see that. Hey, if we open up here, do you know roughly what we have for dimensions, width and length?
So width-wise, it's going to be a little bit narrower than the total width of the machine, which is right about 62 inches. So inside, you should have right about 58 inches or so width-wise.
Okay.
Depth off the top of my head, I believe, is right around 36 inches.
Okay. And then when you extend the tailgate, you get a little bit more.
Yeah.
Now, you do have 4 cup holders built in there.
Yep.
Hey, a little bit of extra storage for smaller things right here.
Put your keys or something in there.
Yep, just in a spot where it's not going to slide off. You know, that's those are nice. Okay, let's lift this up because there are handles on both sides, but you only need to lift one of them.
That is correct. Yep. So you get access to lift the gate from either side. So you can see on the side there, you get a handle as well as one on here. You just pop it up, and the bed tips right open. You do have a hydraulic actuated arm there. It is a manual lift, but it does give you that assistance.
Okay, so is there a way to open this up a little bit more if you're going to say have to work on your engine a little bit?
You can. Yep. Right here, you get this pin that you can pull out. Pop those pins out. Then your bed gets back a little bit further just to make maintenance a little easier for you so you're not crawling into that tight
it's
space.
nice between the width between here and here.
It is.
That little distance makes a difference getting your body in between it.
It really does.
To get in there. So, okay, that's really nice. Now, you've got the basic things back here for maintenance. So you've got your oil fill up on the top. You've got your oil dipstick over on that side. Your air filter is right over here.
So you also get your oil filter. Pretty easy access right down in there.
We'll show you another spot in the cab where you can actually pull out the passenger seat or move it up and pull out a tray.
Yep.
And you probably have some pretty good access to that oil filter from that direction as well, but we'll check that out. Okay, tell us about the suspension back here.
Yeah, so in the rear, you're going to have independent rear suspension. Much like the front, you got your dual A-arm system there. You got your tie rods and your sway bars and everything for a more comfortable, smoother ride. Okay,
so then you got your gas flow right over here. And the doors are designed to easily just basically, besides disconnecting the limit strap on the inside,
yep,
just to actually lift up and pull off.
Correct. So much like your factory Jeep doors are going to do on, like, say, your Rubicons and stuff, or in your Wranglers, they're going to come right up and off these pins here.
Okay. You know, I was trying this earlier, and I know I made this comment, but that's a thunk.
It is.
That's not just plastic. That's a quality door.
It is. They're a nice heavy-duty door system.
Man, you got locks on both sides. And you said you do have 2 keys, but the doors are keyed the same.
That's correct. Yep. So each door is going to come with its own key. However, they are keyed identical, so you don't have to worry about remembering which key goes to which door. They just give you one for each.
Okay. And if you want to lock, you just need to use the key on the outside because there isn't actually a lock button in here.
Yep.
Okay. So you've got, this is the door open switch.
Yep.
Manual windows, for those of you that don't know what those are, that's a crank, folks. That goes up and down. So, but you can get power windows if you want.
You can, yep. For an extra $1,000 or so, they do make another door very similar to this, but instead of having your manual cranks, it'll have 2 little switches with LED lights underneath them to glow them up. Then you just use that, and the window goes up and down with the switches.
Okay, so they can control both of them from the driver's side. Okay. Well, let's talk about the seats in here.
Yeah.
So I know on the passenger side, if we flip this up, there we go. Okay, so if we take this tray out, which is easy to do, I can do that one-handed.
Yep.
So as I suspected, your oil filter is access, it's right there. I mean, you could change it from back there too, but man, that's, easy to get to, is my point. Of course, you got access to your battery right there. Cody, what's under here?
So that's going to be your fuse box.
Okay. So easily accessible. The driver's seat, you can slide forward and backwards. Okay, which is really nice. You also have tilt steering. Okay. All right, so hop in, Cody, for a minute here, and let's talk through a bunch of these things. So the windshield, you guys install it here as part of your package, and you put in the windshield wiper.
That's correct.
So these are the switches down here, right?
Yep. You have your windshield wiper switch here. So all the way down, it'll be doing nothing. If you go in the middle here, it's going to activate the wiper there. And if you press and hold the top, it'll actually spray the fluid for you.
Okay. So I'm always curious about little details, but okay. So the spray nozzle is right there in the hood.
Correct.
Okay. Now, does not have air conditioning because we said, like you said earlier, if you wanted that, you'd have to order that from the factory because you guys can't install that.
That's correct.
From Polaris. Okay. But it does have heat.
Yep. It's got heat with a 3-speed fan.
Okay, so you've got ventilation. You got 2 vents right up here that are directional. You can change for the windshield for defrosters. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 on the dashboard.
Yep. And then you also get 2 lower ones.
2 lower ones. And then storage.
Yeah, storage. In the 1000 Premium, it's a little bit more limited from storage. Of course, you get the under-seat storage here.
Yeah, that whole storage compartment.
You get your glove compartment here.
That's pretty deep, folks.
And then you get, of course, all your cup holders for all your drinks that you bring in.
You could have a small army in here.
You could.
I mean, we counted 6 cup holders in the front. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, And then you've got the 2 down here, and then you've got some spots you could store a bottle, or I wouldn't call them a cup holder, but they're definitely rounded to keep a bottle in.
Yeah.
So if you want to count that, you got 8. So I don't think you'll be thirsty.
No.
That's a lot of drinks. Okay, you've got a nice convex mirror up here, a large. I like this. If you have a utility vehicle and you have a rear view mirror, having the curved part is nice, and having the wide top to bottom is really nice.
Yeah.
Just for looking. I've got a flatter one in mine, and this is a whole lot more viewing out the back.
Yep. It's almost kind of like a fisheye version.
Yeah, and I get you so much more peripheral vision, though, because I can't see cars.
Yep.
I've got to actually look back. Anyways, so that's really nice. A small detail, but really nice. Now, you've got a digital instrument cluster up here.
Yep.
So talk to us about what this does.
Yeah, so this is going to give you all of your important information. So things like your engine temp.
Right.
You can change some of the display options there. You can view your RPMs, your miles per hour. Things like your engine hours, how many hours on the machine itself you've got. You've got your options through the menu there too. If you press and hold the mode button, it'll bring up the options menu. You can change things like your backlight level, backlight color, what unit of measure the different readings are coming out in, and you can change your service interval reminders on there as well.
I know you were referring to it earlier as, it kind of gives you all the basics.
Yep.
But I drive a much older utility vehicle.
Yep.
I have to lick my finger and stick it out the window to see how fast I'm going. Right? That's my speedometer.
Yeah.
So this is just crazy. That's just amazing what they put in. A vehicle like this. That's wow. Okay. Now, you do in addition have some more storage right up here in these pockets. We'd missed talking about those. But man, that's a lot of storage.
It is.
Okay, so let's say you buy it as equipped right here, right, with your package on it. But at some point you say, well, I want to remove the roof for a little bit.
Yeah.
Is that possible?
It is. Not too difficult. So in the front here, you're going to have just a few clamps that go in just to hold it down for a support. And then in the rear, on the exterior, along the back side of the roof, you can see there's a few screws that go in there. Undo those, pop it out, and you can take the roof off.
And then the glass stays in place.
Yep, you can keep the glass in. You can also take it out too. The rear is pretty easy. You just have these 2 clamps here. Those just fold down, one on each side, and the whole thing comes right out.
And the whole thing comes right, and that is automotive glass.
It is.
Wow, so you could take, now the front windshield on this one looks like it clamps on the front, the kind of way you would vent it, but it doesn't.
Correct. This one specifically does not. I think just for the ease of production, they made it a little bit more universal. So these ones, you've got the few clamps on the top. You unbolt those, and then unbolt the clamp here, and then it should lift right
pops
out.
out.
Yeah.
So really, I mean, if you wanted to, if you want to have that open area, get a couple nice days, it isn't all that much to take them off.
No, not too terribly difficult. Of course, you always have the option. You could just upgrade and buy the tip-out windshield.
2. Yeah. Okay, and you would install that here if you.
We do.
Okay. Wow. So there's a couple more buttons we need to talk about down here. Tell us about the 4-wheel drive system.
Yep, so the 4-wheel drive system here, if you put the switch all the way down to the bottom, this is going to be what Polaris calls turf mode. So what that's going to do, essentially one-wheel drive. It unlocks the rear differential, so if you're driving around in the yard, turning around and
rip it up.
Correct. You go into the middle there, it's going to lock the rear diff, so your 2-wheel drive locked in the rear. Good mode if you're just driving around, not worrying about if you have to tear up the grass or not.
Okay.
In the front, it's going to be their what Polaris calls on-demand all-wheel drive.
Okay.
So what that's going to do, it's not always going to be 4-wheel drive. You put it there, and it will sense. If it senses, I believe on these units, about a 1/16th of rotation of slippage in the rear wheels, it's going to send the power to the front and do it automatically for you.
Okay.
And then once it senses you no longer need that, it'll slowly start to back it off.
Okay.
Wow. And it is an on-demand system too, so you can flip it on the fly. If you're driving down the trail and all of a sudden you see, oh shoot, there's a bunch of rocks or something there, or something that looks slippery, just throw it in 4-wheel drive and the machine will take care of it itself and make sure it's at safe RPM levels to engage anything.
Okay, so if you flip it and it senses, okay, the RPM gauge is, or RPM level or the speed is too much, it's automatically not going to do it until you slow down.
Correct.
So you're not going to wreck anything.
That's correct.
So when your kids borrow it,
yep,
and
don't have to worry about it.
Push it a little bit further than you do.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Really nice system. Makes it so you don't have to come to a complete stop to engage 4-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Like many other units on the market these days.
No kidding. So down here you've got,
Two 12-volt outlets, and
Okay.
then in the middle, you've got the factory-installed battery tender plug-in. So if you have a battery tender at home, you can just plug it right into there.
that's so nice. Leave it in your garage, unroll the window, or take the door off, just plug it in, there you go.
Yep.
Man, they make that easy. Holy schmoly. Okay, now, in addition to that, you have got another switch over here, and that's your headlights.
Yep. So you should have off all the way at the bottom,
Yep.
low beams in the middle, high beams at the top.
Oh, yeah. You can, I can see it shining out the signs
yeah.
out there. Okay, so, Cody, what is the warranty on this?
So Polaris is going to include a 1-year factory warranty. They
Okay.
do allow you to purchase up to an additional 4 years.
Okay.
Warranties are not taxed, at least in the state of Minnesota. They are transferable. So if you have that extended warranty and you decide you're going to sell the machine and there's still that extended coverage on it, that can transfer to the new owner.
Oh, that's nice.
Polaris will also let you cancel their warranties too with some sort of refund for whatever the prorated amount that's left is on
Prorated
it.
amount. Okay, wow. Okay, now, vehicles can be hard to come by.
They can be.
Cars, trucks, SUVs, and utility vehicles and boats. So, if I come in as a customer today and I say, I want this,
Yep.
how long do I have to wait?
So, well, for instance, this one specifically is available. It does not have a name on it currently. This chassis of the Ranger, the 1000 premiums, are a little easier to get than most right now.
Okay.
Just because most people are just jumping the gun and going straight for the factory North Star. But of course, then they're waiting months and months for it. So these, we can usually get a turnaround time of just a couple months.
Okay, that's not bad at all.
No.
Okay, so let's talk again just about accessories, because you know when you buy something somewhere, it's nice to be able to go back to the same place that you bought it from to get the accessories. So you sell a full line of accessories for these?
Yep, all of Polaris's factory offered accessories we're going to offer here in-house. Now, of course, you and I both know what the market looks like today, whether or not they're available or if we have to order it in, but we have that capability.
But you have that capability, so anything they see in a Polaris that's made by Polaris,
Correct.
they can get straight through you,
Yep.
and you can install it too if
Yep.
if it's a harder item to install.
Yeah, we do offer in-house installation here. We've also had folks bring in aftermarket accessories that they didn't know how to install, and our guys can take care of it.
Okay, so if I bought something that's not from your store, and I brought it in, say it's a lighting system that's not, and I say, could you guys, you'll do that?
Yep.
Okay, well that's good to know. So I know another good thing about accessories is there are a lot of Polarises out there, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, people try to order things and it's a long time wait. So you will ship anywhere, right?
That's correct. Yep. You can always
so
contact our
you
parts
can always
department.
call up here and see if Mies Outland happens to have it or can get a hold of it any quicker
Yeah.
than someone else can.
Yep.
And then you'll ship it directly to them.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, you know, Cody, thank you so much for taking your time to talk with us about this beautiful Ranger. It's just, that's really neat. I love the fact that you put the package together in here. You know, it's about a $6,000 savings for the customer,
Yeah.
as opposed to buying the factory one, although we know the factory one comes with some different options. But this is a great deal. So thanks for walking us through it today.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Thanks for watching.